Hey everyone, it's Ariah. Welcome back to Vast Error. I'm excited to read more of this. It's been a minute. Sorry about the purple intername here. I went to the next page at one point and I didn't really look at it, but that's it. I hope you guys are doing well. I had a bit of a long day today, and it will continue to be kind of long. I went, and by the way, this is being recorded the day before it goes up, so on Saturday, the 2nd of March. I just came from a protest event. It was kind of like a march on the. So I live in Michigan, right? And I drove down to Lansing, which is the capital. And we marched on the Capitol building with some people. And it was for the Poor People's Campaign, which was really nice. I had a lot of fun with it, and there was a lot of really powerful speakers, and I really want to involve myself more in that. So I came from a protest, about an hour drive back and forth. Then I got home. I finalized the upload for the day, the Amori episode 11 video, and then I played some Minecraft, and now here we are. So it's been a day. I am a little bit low energy, but you probably won't be able to tell because I get really excited when I record. Anyways, I'm excited to get more into this because last time we had a really interesting few panels with this person, which is, oh gosh, why can't I remember? Oh, Albion. It's Albion. Nobody said anything to me about pronunciation, so I'm gonna stick with Albion for now. So she just had some information about. She was told that that she wasn't going to merge, or at least in the same way with the Guardian Spirit, and she was a little misled, or perhaps the truth was being represented in a way that kind of left out some details. So we'll definitely see how that goes. Jared pointed out in the comments that it seemed like an interesting theory that they would merge by being prototyped together, which I think would make a lot of sense, and I can definitely see that happening. Before we get started here, I want to light some incense, because it was really nice last time. This one smells great. I'm excited. Alright, let's light it. Anyways, I'm super excited to see where the story takes us and to meet this new person. I do not know this person's name. There we go, it's burning. And... alright. Incense has been lit. I'm putting it over here, and let us begin. Alright. I read this page already, I'm pretty sure. Because even if I'm already well aware of the answer, he pointed out that was in first person. So let's go in. Let's enter name. Let's shift over to this person's perspective. Okay. Oh boy, another name that I don't know how to pronounce. Your name is DISMAS, like Christmas. DISMAS MERSIV. DISMAS. DISMAS. It must be DISMAS. I'm gonna say DISMAS, like Christmas. DISMAS MERSIV. When you were younger, you were forcibly taken in by a Skulltitan youngling, one of the planet's most rampantly destructive fauna-based environmental issues. Once these creatures were thought to be extinct due to both the extensive architectural battles waged against them and their penchant for frivolously picking fights with the other ultra beasts of burden. In actuality, a select few of them managed to survive, burrowing deep into the planet's core and retreating into obscurity. For eons, they survived solely off of the radiation that your world's center emanates, before resurfacing without warning, nastier than ever, and ready to battle it out in a bid for the title of ruler of all monstrosities to everyone else's detriment. Only the weaker minority of the species ever takes on any sort of caretaker role, in nothing more than a self-serving ruse that ensures they are fed the potent irradiated ores they crave on the regular. Not complying with this arrangement would leave you as good as dead. As such, you are forced to mine at the bottom of your neighboring canyon landscape in order to feed your guardian. This doesn't mean that you're not one to rebel against authority. Quite the contrary. In fact, it's an aspiration you've taken a liking to, but consistently overestimate your ability to execute properly. These mini rebellions of yours are grounds for territorial abuse from your custodian, as far as he's concerned, and so you have had many scrapes with him over the sweeps. The poison in his claws alone would usually be more than enough to kill, but your body has a pseudo-healing factor that mends your wounds, albeit leaving you scarred and disfigured in the process. You're extremely sensitive about this, and make sure to cover yourself up as much as possible. The majority of your time is taken up studying old documentary tapes in order to find a way to personally murder him, and also the rest of his ilk of crust-dwelling abominations, of course. Oh, and sometimes you're forced to play games. Your troll tag is Gigantus Debilitation. Yeah. And your reserve tone is rather sharp. Gotcha. So V's and A's. What will you do? Okay, that's interesting. So we've got the Skulltitan Youngling, which is the most rampantly disrupted fauna-based environmental issues. So some kind of like invasive species, basically, some kind of fauna that's like kind of super, I don't know, super good at killing other things and at the top of the food chain, kind of destroying everything, perhaps. They were once considered thought to be extinct. That's interesting. I wonder if that's like the reasoning they're giving for why these didn't exist in Homestuck scrubs, since this is in Homestuck's like Alternia, since this does appear to take place after that, probably in an AU. I'm not sure. That's interesting. Anyways, yeah, because they were in the planet's core, so they must have stayed there for a long time, and then I don't know if this says why they're. I guess they resurfaced without warning. Yeah, so it's just like we're ready to kill everyone. We're ready to be dominant. That's interesting. All right. Well, it looks like he's not in a great spot, but hopefully Scrub or Spurb or whatever will get him out of that. And apparently he's scarred. So we'll see. Yeah. All right. Dismas, prepare for the end of the world. The world's not going to be ending anytime soon, not if you have anything to say about it. Dismas, examine corkboard. If the world were to end, though, the cause would not be some sort of cataclysmic event tearing through your planet's surface. Oh no, your planet's demise is far more likely to come from down below, by virtue of a bunch of rabid monstrosities tearing through the planetary shell with their scorching azure beams of mouth plasma. You're very certain of this. Similarly to the majority of the lower blood castes, these creatures have evolved to further enhance their already powerful forms with innate survival abilities. Although as far as your custodian in question is concerned, these skills are not utilized for anything other than making your life hell. You possess an extensive collection of notes detailing Skulltitan powers and battle habits, based on what you were able to analyze on film and through first-hand experience, as well as the most effective strategies of taking them down. You've refined these strategies by testing them on small-scale training dummies. In the past, the best method was to use mechanized technology, more specifically controlled fighter savages, to fend them off. But these units were all decimated a long time ago. Most techniques from back then are unavailable to this day. Which is truly a shame. Those flimsy, knockoff, slime-powered mech suits that constitute the current modern standards do not make for good combat-ready machinery. Very interesting. So, like, obviously, if the world were to end, it would not be cataclysmic event tearing through your planet's surface, which is, like, meteors, for example. Which is, he's like, no, it wouldn't be that. It would be these terrible beasts coming up and destroying everything. But, like, if scrub happens, like, of course, it will actually be meteors bombarding the planet's surface, which is very interesting. So also, it's related to the lower blood caste, which is very interesting. So, it seems like these creatures, the Skulltitans, might be, might be, like, Luci, like the same kind of thing that Luci are, but for like really low blood castes, because this character here does have the second to lowest blood caste, a la Tavros. So that's very interesting. He clearly is antagonistic with them and wants to rebel, which we've said already. There's a corkboard here. It kind of looks like things are connected together, almost conspiracy theory-y, but it looks kind of more like setting up a battle plan and figuring out how to counter these beasts. We have a decapitated dragon or something up there on that shelf. Some kind of blue thing. Dismas, examine burnt out ore. You like to sneak these into your guardian's meals when he's feeling particularly ravenous to see if he'll choke. Just your personal day-to-day acts of anarchy that are bound to spectacularly backfire on your ass at some point, as such things are wont to do. Is that a word for something? Because obviously that looks like won't without an apostrophe. But, okay, that is a thing. I've never heard of that thing. So, one's customary behavior in a particular situation. Makes sense. It's not exactly advisable to be touching this, or any of the other orders you feed to your Lucis at all, as the toxicity these things pack shoots straight through the metaphorical roof. But over the course of time, and many a disfigured body part, you've developed a certain tolerance to the stuff. That reminds me of The Princess Bride. I don't want to spoil it. It's a great movie if you haven't seen it, but there's the iocane powder, which is a fake poison. And that final line reminds me of that. I won't say too much more. Examine tapes. Alas, these tapes are no more. A few days ago, the Lucis in question managed to find a way to sneak into your hive, tearing the place down and destroying your most recent finds in the process. Truly a loss for the more reptilian-inclined monster hunters of the world. In truth, this form of video is entirely obsolete by modern standards. You're only able to watch them due to your partner in crime having a rather obnoxious and over-the-top interest in ancient pop culture artifacts. That guy's the worst. You hate him. Oh boy. Alright, yeah, those are VHS tapes. Those are pretty old. I find it kind of interesting the parallels of technology on Alternia, because, like, of course, this is a comic written on Earth, right? So they could make completely alien technologies, but instead they kind of choose to be like, yeah, look, it's a VHS tape. Which is pretty fun. Entirely obsolete by modern standards in our world as well. Receive confidential message from partner. Alright. If you even so much as think of his name, he arrives. God, you hate him. You're gonna have to answer him on mobile Scorp with your cheap old trilobite. It's a burner phone. Nobody goes out of the way to use this insectoid tech anymore, unless they have to. Despite being much more clean and compact, Mobile Scorp somehow manages to be just as bad as the original program, which you can't even use anymore after you created a theme titled Lizard Slaughter? Litany. Okay, that looks like Slaughter. I just realized that slaughter and laughter were spelled the same, but with an S at the beginning. I'm pretty sure that's Lizard Slaughter Litany, not Lizard's Laughter Litany. Oh, wait, maybe it is. Maybe it is, because it would be 3 L's. Maybe that's why it crashed the system. That proceeded to crash your entire system. You have a rather bad habit of fucking things up for yourself over and over again on a near constant basis. It's kind of your thing. All right, answer UK. We did meet UK in the past. So this will be interesting. Okay. So I got to come up with a new voice, and then... All right, we got to do UK's voice again. Okay, all right, Mr. 3 Scar General over there. Let me just go ahead and give you the word of the moment, so we can keep things nice and clear without going sack deep into the extraneous pissy shitty. We got a film to shoot, and this is important because it's gonna be a generational winner, worthy of planetary crater to call its own. Which I know it'll be lucky enough to be getting momentarily. So that's why once again you're gonna needs to be putting the bandito out of the wild west at the end of your ass and into your head, because this is the last time we're gonna be able to really shoot on location, and I want these movies to be rancid nasty. Even went out of my way to lure out a co-star for you in order to make sure I got served some primal failure to further ruin. And you know you're the official candidate for my 12-12-6-6-1-1 Editary Gilded Statue Award bait. Interesting. I'm not really sure what most of that means. Alright. No, I'm not going outside. Your lame critical shooting session can wait a little while. I had to look the shit lizard... Jesus Christ, this is hard. I'm gonna get used to it. I had to look the shit lizard out... I had to lock the shit lizards out not too long ago, and you can probably guess the kind of attitude he was sporting after that. It was the pretty fucking livid kind. I can still hear him scratching around and trying to make a scene every once in a while, so I'm not interested in getting in his way anytime soon. Staying put is far more compelling from where I'm standing, which is inside my hive, and will remain that way for the foreseeable future. So please, kindly fuck off and ask me again later. But there isn't gonna be a later because of the game, right? This is what you're talking about. It's like, no, last time we can shoot on location because the world's gonna end. Nah, man, TBH, there is no later in this equation. You're trying to solve my word riddles again. But there's no possible outcome except the fucking same end variable I tried to start with. Word form DIE. You're so dramatic. Not dying is exactly why I don't want to go out, in case you hadn't noticed. What else could possibly be happening right now that is so insanely catastrophic? Well, then let me speak in a language that you might understand, a little clearer than normal. Keep my verbiage more or less squeaky. You remember the story I yawn about the boner man? Yeah? How well do you remember it? Considering all the shit that you insist on spewing out of your hole, probably only the vaguest terms. GDI. I don't know what GDI stands for. Yeah, I don't know. How many times am I gonna need to re-explain my life story tonight? Well, I know you're just trying to disclose it all over again, and no matter what I say, you're just going to disclose it all over again. Since my memory is clearly not up to your standards, so go ahead, take the floor. So, and then he just is crawling under the trapdoor. Okay. I met him back when I was about 9 cycle passes and some change. A small-bound hustler on the move, doing anything he could to pull a stack from the waterwork and make a quick pelf off to the stupidest fucks this side of the coast. You gotta know me as a virtua poker man, but a shark's gotta learn how to start swimming somewhere. And when I was bottom feeding, all I knew to bank were these busted-up rock pictures, dioramas embedded underneath my aisle, bunch of hoppity, amphibious croaking weirdos I had never seen before. Some intense spin patterns and flowers in there too, but I don't really care about no purpose, no rhyme, no reason. Just chips and dinero. Till the first appearance of purpose slapped me in the face in this little play stage I was unknowingly set up on. That was the morning I was ligament struck into the bone zone. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, I intimately know about all your past gambling shenanigans. There's no way for me not to, seeing as how they were a major part of my own problems for the better portion of 2 sweeps. I may not remember the exact details of the random filth you tell me on a daily basis, but I'm not forgetting the shit you forced me to do back then anytime soon. Things are marginally better nowadays, but honestly, it's a personal hell I'm still living in. Anyway, the history lesson was unnecessary. If you could just make it to the valuable information I thought you were going to deliver in the first place, that would be great. Don't interrupt. This is integral tissue mouth. This is integral tissue mouth? Interesting. Integral tissue mouth, I guess. Oh my gosh. We have some static. Okay, this must be the dream. Dude came to me in a dream, bigger and more sloppy posed than a bulge flopping on my warm slip and slide. Upon our greet, he said that he was starting to admire my presence. Though, really, I was wondering how this and beat logic was taken off, because this was the static void. The fuck I was walking on. Also, how was I hearing him, and why were my fins on the verge of an orchestrated blowout? These were the mysteries of a young me, but it wasn't no big picture show. Without an intro, he told me that I got a choice that'll change my life forever. A choice that if I accepted, I'd be granted in a similar fashion down the line over and over again. A chain reaction in the whole of destinies that I promptly be mind piled into if I took the shot. It would lead me upon the true path or something, and it was to piece together a local message that I already knew existed, i.e. them glyphs. And to share the word, it was amongst the bonds I'd get knowledge on. In exchange, I'd get a one-way ticket to a land of shadows and perp. Oh my god, a land of shadows and something and perp. That sounds like the name of a scrub land planet. His own slow-crafted design to live out a way of life where I could be the young man I always dreamt of becoming, and shit boy, accepted, but not without thinking about what exactly all this was to mean for me. Because many attempts later, I realized that one does not swindle this bony pony. He kept his end of the deal regardless, and I think even with my misdeeds, he knew I was gonna have to pull through eventually. And eventually is now hard skin. Got paid in advance. Fact is, no ice skullfuck wasn't holding back on the definition of the ideal self. Place was a dump, but it was there. I learned the mastery of the 52 hands. Ended up struck in the company of this mad stick figure who took me in and showed me the ropes to reel in the dopes. We were walking nightmare on the streets, and with our crew, who robbed the joint 12 kinds of blind. Some fellas called him the scathing sharper. I knew the man as Jack. Oh, like Jack Noir, maybe? Scathing, oh my gosh, wait, actually. Definitely Jack Noir, because Scathing Sharper is SS, just like Spade Slick is, and the Sovereign Slayer, right? So there's a parallel there. That's interesting. Jack is of this universe is in contact with them, and trying to get them, trying to get them into the session, which is very, very interesting. There we go, starting to ring a few bells. Pretty sure all that just sounded as ridiculous as the first time around. So how exactly does this relate to us apparently dying? I'm getting to it. Well, can you get to it a little faster? For someone who claims this is so imperative, you sure are content to take your sweet fucking time while simultaneously wasting mine. You're not even out here yet, shit lips. Why are you assuming I'm actually coming? Because you're never not coming at me. For a man who demands so much, you do very little work off the norm. Gross. Also, you're still not really telling me what's going on. You should get back to that, dipshit. Well, first off, I never said we were dying specific like that. Just saying that if you don't comply with me, that you're gonna die. Along with the rest of the world. Big diff. The message I decoded was actually simple, at least in the general gist. Of course, there had to be a bunch of spooky, scary verbiage straight out of existential horror buffs, wet as nightmares, upon our very last visitation chat through my TV screen. That appears to have been the closer to this running gag of around the globe comedy tour he planned on me. But just as this place is gonna wrap inside out into the pits. Pits that'll lick our life plates clean until there's nothing but space dust and regret. However, like all good points in a random plot line, when the going gets tough, there's a loophole ready to make it nice and easy as we inch our way in. Method's not practical, but then again, there's our grand finale. Oh my god. Okay, walking out of a cave, it looks like. Well, if you're the only one who has all this exclusive know-how in the situation and what to do about it, why exactly do I need to be involved? Can you never deal with any of your shit without dragging me along for the ride? What are you about to force me to do this time? What I'm about to do is save your sorry ass, another halfways from the cycle, along with every other one of you sorry and sad sacks of mashed contractions. We're fixing to ride the loophole all the way out of this rig, and you're gonna be the man that gets me in full deep into the mess. In fact, soon you'll be just like me, all of you will. But as of right now, I gotta push the direction of the man. But don't worry about that. Got thousands of gears in progression. I got a majority of the clans shoved into the pile. Right now, though, I'm setting you up with your dream life before the dream life we're gonna share. Better get here quick. Quick, D. I don't know what D is supposed to mean in this context. I'm almost out. This better be worth it. Looks like a Pokeball, but like a black one. Inverted color Premier Ball. Boob drone. What's up? Interesting choice. Okay, I'll give it a shot. What's going on? Okay, so it's like a picture. It's like a video feed. This was not worth it. Come on, don't play me like that. I've got at least 3 things that'll make all those few minutes of walking and my obtrusive word jumbles all the worst while. Here, I'll give you the first deal on the spot right now. Okay, oh my god. Bam! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the sky, or at least 4. It's just like in the olden days of me in New York. Of course, it won't be the same, because it's not the routine hours pending classic maneuver we used to pull. But it's the thought that counts. The thought and the hand. Oh my gosh. This is very interesting. So clearly this is something, like, I very much so cemented that they're talking about scrub, like Spurba Scrub or whatever they're going to call it in this. Which will be very, very interesting to see. I think that this guy is a really interesting way of communicating, and this guy is the one in charge of getting everyone into the session, so that'll be somewhat interesting. No dice, huh? Oh, alright, right. Nah, I'm feeling the beats you're pulsing me way loud and clear. We are scaling the wall of the past and heading into the future, and the future is bumping. Okay, now you're just cramping me out. This is tradition. You can't call it off tradition. It's tradition's tradition. I got no shenanigans prepared for this. All I want is a little skin. Pinky swear, re-enlarging them peeps, and shout me a hell yeah. Give me that finger, and let's truce on it. Alright. Sure, how about this one? Oh my god, slapped. Get that the fuck out of here. Fucking God, you just had to hit me right on the mark, didn't you? How can that ridiculous thing even swat so hard and stay properly afloat? I can't stand it. Doesn't help that I'm staring at nothing but a lens. I bet you feel awfully proud of yourself with that cheap shot, sheltered behind your bastardized remote control auxiliary. Not that I'm surprised, mind you. Cheap shots are all you're ever good for. That and further salting my wounds. Wah, that's you right now. If you close your deformed mom, maybe I'll find a way to feed you some grubby juice and pacify your incessant need to shit over everything I have ever done for you. Got a real neat device that sprouts it right at the chest nubberies for easy peasy suckle action. I wouldn't be able to close it even if I wanted to. Something you just made it a bit worse for the moment. Whatever you've got, Kiv, is not gonna be staying put. I'd call that a most accurate representation of what you've done for me. I've always done so much more for you than you think, bro with me. Spend more time being grateful for the mine gifts I give him, and then you'll know wisdoms like no other. Though it seems I haven't even gotten to my two other needed in this moment show-offs, and already you got those tears rolling. That shows you care. Might have misjudged you there for a sec. I think you're getting the message now, but can I get to the good part? Can I skip to the... could we skip to the good part? Is it we or I don't remember. Sorry. Literally, what good part is there? Yeah. By all means, please give me one fragment of a reason why I even came out here in the first place, because so far, all I've gotten out of you is a sprinkle of arguably relevant information and a slap in the face, which I don't know how to even begin to make heads or tails of, except for the latter. I got that one loud and clear, douchebag. And you're still neglecting to actually tell me what the fuck it is that we're supposed to be doing. What are you stalling for? A timed reveal or something, you bastard? Yeah, because this needs one. Stop using those mechanic fingers to air tap a fake percussion rumble. Nah, give it a few more uptones, and there. Proud to say we're gonna leave and boldly go where everyone has tried to have gone before but never returned to tell their tales. Outside the planet, past into the further beyond. And where exactly would we go once we complete this tremendously unnecessary exodus? There's nothing else out there, and everyone knows that. Every single expedition to the further beyond has ended in nothing but failure and floating corpses. Look, if this is some sort of grandstanding excuse for a sudden bout of existential dread, I know that this place sucks. But things are not going up in flames without warning like you're saying they are. We can't just give up on this planet. It's all we've got. Plus, I'm still not done figuring out how to permanently remove all these damn Skulltitans from the surface. I promise this place will be exceedingly better once they're gone. I'm not talking about space travel to some rinky-dink inhabitable planet at the far side of the moon or something. This is a miniature getaway for us ones deemed fit for jobbing it. We got a tiny pocket with 12 names written on it. I just gotta squat up and get there. Now follow my lead and stop pissing over the small deets. You're still not... Shh! No more words, bottom scale. Allow your syllable vowel mixes to stay dead center. We got a site on Fizzinfo do edition PHYS info Fizzinfo Fizinfo and then do is like second edition. I don't know. I don't know that one, man. All right, look up. What is a meteor? Yeah, there we go. Look at that. It's a meteor. It looks like it has a building on it. And then that's the hope symbol right there. Oh, and now, Albion sees it as well. What is that? A prophecy being foretold? What I've been talking about this whole convo? I still don't understand. Well, you'll get one last sec to think on it, if you can even do that. Might be a little too busy performing our last show. didn't let Beastie Boy out for you to not fight him and for you to not to get ripped to shreds for the vids one last time. No, why? You did not do that. If you just did what I think you did, I'm losing all faith in you and everything you do or say from this point forward, no matter how severe. That's a mage, not my fault. You don't know how to roll with priority matters. Speak of the Atomic Devils, it's your little old man. Look up again. Oh boy, it's a Lucis. It's a dragon Lucis, is the one that was beheaded. He's really not happy that you locked him out earlier. And there's the plasma ball coming from the mouth. And he's going to be even less happy when he's dead. You make sure to notify your kismesist that he's going to be next on your hit list at this rate. Alright. The kismesist, who we briefly met earlier in the story, proceeds to inform you that this could all have been avoided if only you gave high fives responsibly. You discern this notion as an absolute crock of shit, because you've known him for many long-suffering sweeps, which he immediately agrees. He then starts recording the action that's about to take place. You're going to be busy for a while. This works just fine for us, as it's now time for a new introduction. Let's take a closer look at this antagonistic young man. Alright, well that was very interesting. It was pretty self-evident. I mean, there was a lot of nonsense gibberish that was being kind of thrown out there. But the highlights are Jack has gotten in contact with this guy and told this guy about, in dreams, right? Which makes sense, right? Because dream selves would be on Prospect and Durst. So this person's probably a Durst dreamer. And in his dream, Jack came and talked to him or something like that. And it was like, hey, you guys can, come into the session and, like, fulfill all this stuff. And he is actually trying to do that, but he's not really being very successful at convincing our friend DISMAS here at this being the thing. But they're kismesses. They're kismeses. That's how I'd say it, with like an E-S in the end instead of an I-S. Kismeses. Which is very interesting dynamic, because I don't think we ever really got like a true kismeses dynamic in main characters in Homestuck. So this will be pretty cool. Enter name. Your name is MURRIT TURKIN. Okay, MURRIT TURKIN. And really, that's all most people need to know about you. So far, you've only had 2 iterations of yourself. That will soon change, although you don't realize it yet. Interesting. In the far past, you used to be a salesman of dubious credibility after your dream self was awoken on the moon of Durst by making a deal with a stranger. Yep, there we go. That's Jack Noir. A small group of cheats, known as the Dead Shufflers, took you in as a hostage to the Black Queen. Oh, I wonder if the Dead Shufflers are... I wonder if that's the Jack Noir's group, like, that would be called the Midnight Crew, right? So, those aren't the same acronym, but, like, I'm talking about Spade, Slick Diamonds, Droog, Hearts, Boxcars, and, I'm missing Clubs Deuce, right? And their other names as well, including... Jack Noir. Or it could be a different organization. There's the Black Queen there, and they do work for the Black Queen, so that's interesting. In a somewhat shocking turn of events, it just so happened that their leader, the Scathing Sharper, yep, there we go, right, that's Jack Noir, Spade Slick, Sovereign Slayer, ended up taking a shine to you, finding a new home among these strange exoskeleton sporting crooks. You were soon turned into a feared personality among the last remaining members of the Sea Troll hierarchy. Yeah, that's right, because this is one of the last remaining members of them, because it's the Eridan stand-in. As a ruthless swindler and card shark in the world of various gambling sports, you acquired a fine taste for taking what you want with absolutely no regard for others, and also murdering any poor sucker who didn't manage to pony up the goods. You actually met your partner, DISMAS, through these shady means. You have been the proud owner of his soul, now in more than one ways, since that fateful poker game, about 2 sweeps back or so, and that encounter eventually led you to realize that that wasn't the life you wanted to lead, so you gave it all up, relinquishing your underground reign and betraying the family you once had. You sentenced the man that took you in to a life of community service and sent the other 3 into hiding. Since then, you've settled in as this new MURRIT. Interesting. I'm not totally sure. I'm not totally sure I caught that last bit. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Dream stuff happened. That makes sense. Yeah. Last on the Sea Troll hierarchy makes a lot of sense. One of the last remaining members. Yeah. yeah, this is the gambling thing that they're talking about. You met your partner through these shady means. The proud owner of his soul. So does that mean the partner? I think that means the partner. Unless that's the swindler. I can't tell, really. I think it was the owner of his partner's soul, of DISMAS' soul. Which then he gave it up, relinquishing your underground reign and betraying the family you once had. So that's underground as in like the last remaining members of the Cetral hierarchy who like had some kind of underground reign, maybe, perhaps, is the reason is the reason that the Skulltitans came up. Is it not actually because they were like, yeah, let's go kill everyone? Was it because the Sea Dwellers went underground and like started forcing them out of their homes, started bothering them down there? That's possible. Interesting, anyways. All right. Next page. Oh wait, actually first I was gonna look at this. Yeah, we got some static TVs in the background, some more of those tapes. Got some cards and poker chips, like gambling. We've got like, it looks like, well, there's definitely like, is this a mat with like a hand or foot or something, a foot probably with blood, or is this like a printout of somebody? I can't really tell there. I guess we'll see at a different angle. This might be a Rubik's Cube, but we got like high-tech computer equipment, it looks like. Yeah, Rubik's Cube. Oh yeah, so it's a body pillow. That's interesting. Oh, it's a DISMAS body pillow. Because it's got his blood color, and it's a bunch of different scratches and scars, including one on his mouth, and then he covers it all up as much as possible. That's fascinating. We got the Raccoon. We got various TVs. Is it a second Raccoon? I can't really tell. There's more gambling stuff back here and some sunglasses of various kinds. There's another one of those probe things. Okay, cool. This new MURRIT is the MURRIT you're set on keeping. And as with any proper personality, he also has a number of interests. A lot of your time has gone into fulfilling your end of the bargain with the aforementioned stranger that woke your dream self, with a subsection of it being devoted to trying to give him the slip. These attempts have all failed spectacularly, although they were quite entertaining to watch at times. Since then, you've resigned yourself to personally decoding the hieroglyphs found inside an ancient and ruined temple, which sported the visage of a curious amphibious creature you're pretty sure doesn't actually exist. Interesting. Like the frog thing. And you finally completed your work on that front tonight. Other than that, you're very prone to boredom. On your tropical island in the middle of nowhere, the kind with coconuts and shit, they sadly don't make for entertaining company, so you've taken matters into your own hands and rigged your hive with an insurmountable number of booby traps that could kill you at any second just for the sheer thrill of it. Dangerous fun has always been better than no fun at all in your book. You also like to collect a number of ancient cultural artifacts, most of them coming from the Renaissance. You're particularly invested in old media systems and esoteric entertainment from the time period. This collection is proudly displayed on your also lovingly procured set of televisions and videotapes, the entirety of which you leave running on something at all times, all at once. As a bit of a side hustle, you've also managed to modify the technology you uncover rather well. Many of these objects have been turned into monitors and drones that you use to keep tabs on your friends. You enjoy waiting for them to fuck up spectacularly and then record these moments so you can make surreal comedy mashups of their misfortunes. And despite the fact that you post these everywhere, you ensure they are accessible to you alone. Anyone who clicks on your video links is subjected to a hot load of obtrusive redirections and nasty viruses. Really, you like to think that your best attributes are the dedications you bring to all these hobbies. None of it comes even close, however, to the sheer magnitude of effort you put into showing your affiliation with erotic countercultural art pieces. The hentai art movement, in particular, made a lot of waves during its prime. Oh boy, fascinating. Truth be told, this didn't start as a genuine personal interest. Rather, it was a response to another's interest, a countermeasure to show him how utterly shitty his beliefs are. And sometimes, in order to really prove a point, you need to take that extra step. Countless hours of researching, reading, watching, and going as far as to making a dungeon of solitude in relation to it, all to make the guys that much more believable. It's gotten so bad that you're not even sure if you're still doing this facetiously or not. But other people don't need to know if you're being honest, and neither do you. It's all part of the show. Your troll tag is unclassed Pakuna, and you speak in a staticky manner that no one even gets. Oh, so like the hashtag's kind of like TV static, I guess. That's interesting. What will you do? Fondly regard past MERRIT. Oh, that's a creepy smile. What is there to fondly regard? That's okay. That is the Midnight Crew right there. Examine copious amounts of shades. Oh, first I guess we got someone was killed here. They've got a gun. They might have killed themselves. I'm not really sure. The gun's right there. We got a broken bottle over there with blood on it. Over by the bar. Some weapons. Some posters and stuff on the wall. Excuse me. Oh, there's another dead person over here. On the right. And that might be a bloody knife, maybe. Examine copious amounts of shades. This is your shutter shade collection. You have 52 pairs in total, and you like to switch them once each Weiss per half sweep cycle. I don't know what Weiss means. I don't remember how I learned about that in Homestuck. They're a staple of your wardrobe that subtly hints at the hidden depths of your personality, keeping your eyes open, yet concealed from onlookers at all times. Nah, as if. You just enjoy the simple pleasures of being kind of weird. Your idiosyncrasies carefully cultivated for maximum aggravative potential. Your friends love it. Examine Launchpad. You frequently use this thing when you're working on your video mashup collections. Really brings it all together. That's the power of wacky effects and deep frying. Each button has a specific function attached to it that messes the video up something fierce. Although some fall more on the useless side of things. This one, for example, is just a long clip of someone screaming. You proceed to press the button and listen to the anguished wail for many minutes. Alright, we got more things on the TV here. The top one here is familiar to me, but I couldn't quite place exactly which one that is, what thing that is. The other thing is, of course, Bart Simpson with, but as Troll. MURRIT, examine mysterious ancient entertainment hubs. Alright, we got Ninja Turtles there as well. I'm not sure what movie that's supposed to be. I'm not really sure what that is in the top right. They're not really that mysterious. They're just really old and outdated televisions. You cherish them regardless, as per your previously stated esoteric and eclectic taste. These films and shows are all hundreds, if not thousands of sweeps old. You're only able to watch them due to the stray wreckage gather and repurposed to this end. Well, that and these tapes are supposed to be virtually indestructible. And you guess you can watch the one show that's still airing on modern television. But the drastic decline in quality gives you a bit of pause. On the other hand, you like to leave the good shows playing on repeat. The ones that make you contemplate your own existence, as much as you contemplate the workings of the media itself. I also end up rewatching and appreciating the things that I've already experienced way more often than experiencing the new things that are coming out. But, not exclusively. Examine DISMAS Body Pillow. The absolute pride of your entire collection. You made it yourself. Ordinarily, this sort of thing would be used as part of an imaginary physical courtship ceremony, but you and he have long since crossed that particular bridge. You just like having him around whenever you want him. Oh yes, I suppose I should explain what that means. I've brought up quite a few terms that have been left unexplained thus far. Let's get that out of the way, now shall we? Explain species mating procedures. Oh boy, what? Okay. This will be interesting. Let's go for it. I'm not sure who this troll is. Okay. I will keep the social aspect of this relatively brief, as we are meant to return to it at a later time. For now, all you need to know is that the species' traditional relationship conventions fall into 4 distinct categories, or quadrants, of similar yet varying romantic notions. They're represented by equally recognizable and easily recognizable and color-coded symbols. These so-called quadrants are matesfordships, heart, moy allegiances, diamonds, auspicisms, clubs, and kismesissitudes, spades. I don't think I've heard the word auspicism. That's cool. I didn't have a way to say that in that like tense. The flushed and pitched quadrants are the ones that currently relevant to our discussion. The former being characterized by a tender, more compassionate form of love, and the latter by being much more of a tumultuous and contentious, but both nonetheless equally as affectionate and important to these trolls. There we go. And what a remarkably sentimental band of creatures they are. Yes, trolls take their courtships rather seriously, almost to the point of being territorial on the issue. Finding a mate is the farthest thing from fun and games for those starry-eyed souls. Even the initial choice of who to romantically pursue is taken with great preponderance by most, and it is hardly, if ever, made on a woman without due consideration. Sexual intimacy of any kind comes much, much later in the process. Long after the special someone has been duly chosen, the stakes here are unusually high for what you'd ordinarily expect from physical coupling, as this experience is rather life-altering, not by the nature of the act, but by the fact that doing so completely closes a troll off from ever bonding in such a manner with another. Each person only ever gets 2 shots at making this decision, one for either sexually intimate quadrant. Any further details on this front, however, are not important to us at present. You see, reproduction on this planet is not dependent on intercourse, rather it is actualized by artificial cloning. In a few select moments over the course of a troll's lifespan, they will be asked to go to their most conveniently located reproduction stable in order to leave behind some form of genetic material. These samples are to be handed off to the helpful and friendly service droids, robotic assistants charged with ensuring your personal stable is as comfortable as possible, as you give back to society in the most literal sense there is. These offerings can be as straightforward as a strand of hair, or if one is more traditionally inclined, a sample of either blood or seed. After receiving the genetic material of choice, the droid then transfers it to a classified facility where it will be stored until it is time to mechanically pupate new younglings, grubs as they call them. These grubs are crafted to be similar yet different from their precursors, carrying their lineages and symbols back into the outside world once they mature. The precursors in question will then be known as the newer generation's ancestors. And it is customary for them to be long dead by the time their descendants have hatched. Fascinating. I don't know why I thought the genetic material mixed with the other trolls' genetic material who we're in relationships with, because there's the whole incestuous slurry thing. Although one, Vast Error might deviate from canon a little bit, and 2, Homestuck might also not have really known what it was talking about in making a coherent troll reproduction system. Alright, these people look like ancestors to me, but they could theoretically, I don't know. Yeah, they look like ancestors to me, okay. Every single troll, whether they know it or not, has an ancestor of shared blood and sigil. Lineage records used to be kept quite laboriously throughout this planet's history, though most of them have been lost to the sands of time by now, due to the general structural decline the society experienced in its waning sweeps. It used to be so easy to know where you came from. Any troll who wished to find out about their ancestry could do so without much effort. Now knowledge on the subject is scarce at best, morsels of information pieced together through cross-analysis between fictionalized historical art pieces and word of mouth. In the past, it was a commonly held belief that the descendant was fated to either follow their ancestors' footsteps or subvert their legacies entirely. Some of these figures were heralded as champions of virtue or condemned as ruthless villains, and as such, many fables have since been crafted regarding the nature of particularly remarkable lives, figures that broke the mold of importance in one way or another, their actions crystallizing into fantastical epics and permanently etched into the cultural consciousness. But no good story ever comes from a place of complete fiction. Our 12 main actors' progenitors stand as special cases in history, as their descendants will also be. Provided everything goes according to plan, these ancestors all had a significant hand in crafting the new era their world was ushered into after their passing, as much as they had a hand in destroying it. Key pieces set to push certain events into motion, as tragic as they were, regretfully necessary. Their tale is one that is commonly referenced, but never truly grasped in its entirety. An unfortunate consequence of technical inaccuracies, tinged by personal bias, and the loss of reliable information on the subject. Do not worry. This story will also be pieced together as we go along. It does feel as if I'm forcing too much information on you right from the start, doesn't it? I apologize. A measure of exposition is quite necessary here, however. There are a number of things that would not make much sense had you not been given the courtesy of a slight pre-briefing, even if some of the broached topics feel all too familiar. Oh? I can tell you're curious. Allow me to give you a small hint, then. You might remember these words from earlier. Take them as a sign of things to come and nod at what has already been. It all has to do all has something to do with a curse by blood. Now let us pick up from where we left off. Fascinating. I don't really know what they mean by curse by blood, but that sounds interesting. I'm not really sure I had a theory craft there. Clearly, if the ancestors play a role, then I think that has something to do with a scratch. I wonder if we're going to go the route of Scrub from Homestuck, and the scratch has happened, and we're in a post-scratch world, which is very possible, especially considering that the Alternia we knew from Homestuck was a post-scratch world. I doubt that it's going to be the other way. I doubt they're going to initiate a scratch. Although they theoretically could. We could have 24 characters all hanging out in a post-scratch session, kind of like what happened in Homestuck with the kids. But something tells me that instead maybe it was more of a this is the post-scratch, or maybe the scratch isn't explored at all. I don't know. Anyway, checking on Dismas. Oh yeah, he's doing just fine. As always, he's giving you the best footage you could possibly ask for. The cream to your crop. Like a match made inside a virtual poker den. You can hear him yelling at you through your feed, demanding you answer him right now, you good-for-nothing, bulge-brained all motherfucker. You decide to indulge him by turning your based oculatory operation buddy drone, boob drone, oh I see, auto chatter system. This specific drone continuously states anatomical facts relating to troll chests. Jesus Christ. Why? Why are you obsessed with this? I do not like this. Yeah. Okay. He doesn't seem to be very fond of it. You can tell by all the incoherent angry growling. I'm not really either. Check it on the blue guy. Oh. Okay. You check it on the other blue guy. Nothing out of the ordinary here, which is exactly the problem. You'd think that with the amount of time he spends collecting various corpse parts from the parasitic undead, Jesus Christ, it would have resulted in at least a couple of yuck-worthy scrapes by now. It's never anything other than some light thriller melodrama fusion with him, though. It's sad, but not the kind of sad that you're in the market for. Examine colorful cube. It's a Rubik's Cube. You rigged this rudimentary puzzle toy into a weapon to be used against none other than yourself whenever you venture into the underground hall traps. Moving the sides will, in turn, rotate the various walls of the expansive room at different angles, each leading to passageways that house a wide plethora of rigged devices that lie in wait for you, ready to unleash chaos on your ass. The goal is always the same, though, to reach your beloved hentai dungeon. Oh, God. I don't know if I like this guy very much. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Before you can get properly enraptured by your own toys, you remember that there is a plot you need to keep moving along. And your first order of business in that regard is to answer the two friends you've left on the back burner, as you took part in your hilarious antics. Examine monitors. So this is interesting, because we've got a lot of different trolls here, right? We got, obviously, Albion, we've got, Arcjek, we've got, was there any, oh yeah, we don't see, the guy on the screen must be the, or is that Scorplog? I don't really know. But then there's DISMAS, that's the other name. But then we've got some other people, like this one's by like a gnome of some kind. It looks like a gnome of DISMAS, honestly, with the way that the face mask is. This one looks like the blue guy might be pulling off someone's stuff or whatever, but there's this blue guy too, so I guess it's cerulean versus blue, right? Like, it's like, or, I guess, okay, this looks like Terezi's color, but there's Vriska and was there not another blue one? Maybe not. I don't really know. I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see what goes on there. But yeah, anyways, there's various other trolls that we've yet to meet, which I find very interesting. Albion is, of course, still astral projecting, which is very interesting. These monitors display the video feeds from the small cameras you've implanted in secret compartments through your friends' hives. They were all installed inside hollowed-out televisions along with your desktop computer sitting at the very center of your personal observation tower. You're very committed to your aesthetic. There are 11 cameras in total, one for each of the 11 people you need to watch over, including one in your own hive. What? As if you wouldn't include yourself in your constant hounding for missteps. That would just be totally unfair to everyone involved. There are no other cameras, just 11. There are especially no cameras for an as-of-yet undisclosed 12th party. As far as you're concerned, 11 is the only number that matters. Very interesting. We heard earlier that there's 12 slots. So it seems like it's set up for a 12-person session. but there is a 12th party that does not seem to be involved. However, that being said, there were 12 names in Scorp, so I'm not really sure which of those people are left out or exactly what's happening here, but I'm excited to find out. All right, examine desktop. Oh boy, Anthropor municipality is like something in the background here. We got this like thing. Oh my god, it's Windows XP. It's Windows XP. All right. Oh boy. Yeah, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, there's 12. Yeah, okay. Equius, by the way, was what I was thinking earlier. I totally forgot Equius, which makes sense. As I saw a comment on Ariah and Jay, it's like, oh, of course you forgot Equius. This is the Void player, right? Which is kind of funny. Yeah, that was the blue one. So those are the two blue ones were probably Cerulean and blue for Equius and Vriska's counterparts. But this is 12 trolls right here. And there sure is not a... Which of these trolls aren't counted? Maybe it's the Existare Oracle one, the one that has a slash to it, incognizable. I'm not really sure. I guess we'll have to find out. Your desktop is an abhorrent hodgepodge of toolbars and obvious spam that you carefully cultivate in order to slow down anything you try to do. You also use the worst browser you could find, Galena, because you're no coward and enjoy surfing the internet on hard mode. Your Scorp theme is Tit-tastic Temptations. Jesus Christ. You would think this is a custom-made theme, given your now twice aforementioned eclectic tastes. Unfortunately, it is not. Not unfortunate for you, that is, but certainly unfortunate for everybody else, including myself, currently, what regrettable turns of fate your planet has taken to lead us here. There's another instance of first person. Regardless, you left a rousing game of Anthropor Municipality with your friend earlier. Blue Dog must be wondering where you went. Okay. I don't like this. I don't like this hentai thing. I'm not a fan. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little uncomfortable. Answer, Blue Dog. When this artificer began trolling unclasped Kakuna, and now we see like this person's like camera like just split over all the televisions. Okay. I have to go check and remember what my voice was. All right, I can do this. Are you alive? Nah. Oh, all right. I guess I'll just go lay down or something then. Hey, whoa. Can't just be sleeping peeping on this here night. You know the drill. It's game time. Well, it's been game time for a while now, and game time has been great. But then you vanished and left me all alone. It sort of ruined my flow. OMFG, you wise-ass Many-Lungs. You're the only one with the real deal know-how on this front, and you think I'm still aching on about some potato fry pseudo-feels, badly rendered games where you flap your arms in a barren void with politically undertoned furnishings. It's my fave kind of games, but you know the big deal is starting to be pushed out right from under us. You talk of big deals in games, but in my eyes, these are just alternate words for things like, say, harassment, or twisted flights of romantic fancy. I guess it depends on what you want to call it in the moment. It's probably both at the same time. Woof. Whatever, do you see Ramshackle Skeleman tonight? No, don't know why. He should have made an appearance by now. That's why I was going to take a snooze. Figured it'd be worth a quick check. Or if that's not just not in the cards, I still get a brief visit to Dreamland before everything starts getting hectic. Gonna bring him the papers like usual, I'm guessing. Which, by the way, want to let you know that's still really real dumb head work on your end, Bassett Bloods. Why read about what doesn't matter in the long run? They're gonna be touching and feeling all up on destiny and inform righteousness soon enough. Life and times of plastic molded battle pieces won't be the first thing they're headed towards. Yeah, well, it was just a bit of a stunt at first, but I started it and it didn't feel right to stop. Had to keep it going, like a civic duty. It's not even really about the content of the papers, just provides a nice visual and makes a statement on how outrageous it's become at this point. And I haven't done that yet tonight, so I might as well. Sounds like a big excuse to steal my flavorful stylings. Don't forget to be who you are. I know you don't have much of a personality besides everyday normal guy, and I know you're getting that through your thick pupper skull, but you know what? There's another thing inside of you, and on the outside of you, and it represents who you are. It's called being a dog. Am I not being that enough with how I literally make dog noises? To show you how dog-esque I am. Well, dogs can't talk, can they? Oh, right. Woof, arf, bark, bark. They can't type neither. There you fucking go. Now you're 100% original. You got it, doggo. Now hurry it up with the Z's. You don't have more than a couple hours before the first impact. For sure. Nighty night. See ya. Oh boy. Okay. That was interesting. So first impact. That means like meteor impact. But I don't really know how much WA knows about this. I can't really tell because they're talking about games and stuff. Dreamland. So okay. So they must know. He must know about this. Okay. Insert the other troll. All right. Ooh. Okay. We got the fuchsia blood. This will be interesting. I'm going to just go for it and see what happens because I don't know if this is a guy or a girl or what their gender is or whatever. So I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. Hey, so I believe you told me that everything is gonna be appended, correct? What? All those things you spoke of earlier about us taking action and this darkly imminent planetary destruction. Oh, right, those things. Couldn't understand you between the golden shovel you got caught up in your throat and the flagrant jackhole taking over your visage. You petulant wiggler, what has become of you? You used to be such a distinguished individual. Okay. God, we glubbing doing this? Apparently we are, and now I have even more to say. First of all, you do not deserve to use any sort of marine-based wordplay, especially not in my presence. Second, just don't make fish puns at all. Ever. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, bro. Thought you would appreciate a player playing into your hand. Aren't you the world's supply of royal function reclamation, or at least one who ruminates it by the fire under a priceless pantan of aquatic merbovine? I am, and one of the only two of us left from our specific place in the hierarchy for expanses. Perhaps you should learn to shape back up and duly fulfill the role you've been granted, instead of disregarding any and all semblance of decency and dragging your heritage through the turbidites. It would do you some good, despite how little value you may hold as a member of your strata at this point. Furthermore, aquatic-related witticisms are the most novice and etiolated. I'm gonna actually look that up. The plant, pale and drawn out, drew lack of flight. Okay. Having lost vigor or substance, feeble. An etiolated form of sea-dweller idiosyncrasy. They're idiotic and worthless, and any and all who legitimately engage in the practice are only fit to be viewed in the same manner. It is my belief that the reason it became such a widely understood convention in the first place was due to nothing more than a bad joke taken out of proportion, and so I will continue to view them as such. Do I gotta respond to this? Didn't understand what the fuck you just said. Yes, you gotta. That is how conversations work. Okay, but consider the fact that I don't wanna. You don't wanna. Once again, a rather poor and juvenile excuse. You never want to do anything of real importance, it seems. This is a serious issue that we need to discuss, but I'll relent for now. I wanted to come here civilly with a different topic to begin with. You're the one who started a scene by deciding to respond with petty insults, instead of answering my inquiry properly. Yeah, something questions. Oh my god. You never addressed the original one, but I'll take it as a positive response in the matter regardless, since I was only seeking verification. My more important piece would be regarding any potential preservation of belongings. I understand that most things will be lost, but is there any method besides the obvious of sparing a portion of them, to your knowledge? If you already know, then why the fuck you asking? Said it yourself. Most of it's gonna be vaporized. I said that was the point of the glyphics. The point that the glyphics made crystal clear. We're not gonna be here anymore after these giant ass rock craters crater our lives into the ground. No more living spaces. No more cushy ego stroking putt courses. No more divine wines, and defo no more of your hoity-toity pleasure sword pack and gender politic groups rabble roosing on the streets about how they live in a higher plane just because they don't have any plush chest tanks. It's just gotta be us wherever it is we go from here into the void of new beginnings. So you best be getting ready to readjust your life plan. Think it's HIGH. High time you got to doing that. Well then, I definitely have plenty of my own concerns in the matter, and not just about the aforementioned. Ignoring some of what you said, I was more worried about the possessions I felt that I might need in a situation like this. I'm simply trying to prepare, though I can see you're not going to be of any real assistance either way. Not entirely sure why I bothered either. I should have known better about the odds of a useful response coming from you. Then, why are you talking to me? Seems like as usual, you're making your own issues out for yourself here. Because I presumed it would be worth my while to give this instance of researching a shot. However, it is now clear that it wasn't worth as much as I had initially hoped. It's not exactly an issue, more that it's just a slight disappointment. And with that out of the way, I really do not have much more to say to you, which seems to me like a favorable outcome for all involved. We might as well be done here. So unless you, against all odds, have anything else of importance that you'd like me to know, I'll be on my way. Just one. Your stroke game, WEAK, weak. Delightful. Oh my god. I like it. I'm sorry if my British accent, because it's kind of like Britishy, but it's kind of like posh. It's supposed to be stuck up, but I don't know. I thought it fit the character with the way the words they were using. Obviously, apologies to real British people who think my accent fucking sucked. And I'm not trying to say that British people sound stuck up, because you can have that same accent and then say kinder things, and it's beautiful. So I just thought that would fit. Oh boy, okay. Murrit, remind yourself of what's important. I hope we can stop here soon. I'm hoping the perspective shifts, since we've had a long video. Alright. Just thinking about it, I guess. You think you've had enough of the so-called natural order of... This is just the next... Yeah, okay. You think you've had enough of the so-called natural order of things for approximately the entire rest of your life. It's time to have some fun before the real show starts. And so, your part is over for the moment. As you peruse your little thrill-chasing detour, we'll move on to our very last introduction in this section. Alright, perfect. I think that's where we're gonna end. We're gonna let us try being the blue guy once more next time. Next Sunday. I'm happy with that. We got about 55 pages in. That's a solid video right there. I had a lot of fun voicing the characters. I think I'm really excited to see where this progresses and exactly how they all get into the session. And I've had just a lot of fun with this. I'm still having a lot of fun with this. This is episode 3, and I just loved reading it. Obviously, I have to take breaks that I edit out for just drinking water and stuff, because it is a lot of my voice to talk for all this time. But it turns out really well. I think this is a really fun series to do, and I'm excited to do more of it and see where it continues from here. I still like Albion the best. Albion is still my favorite character so far. I'm curious about the other characters we've met today, though. I think I'm especially curious about that fuchsia blood that we just talked to. What was their name? Their name was Grandiose Saturation, GS. We'll find their real name later. Alright. Anyways, if you enjoyed that, please leave a like. It would be greatly appreciated, but only if you did enjoy this video. Excuse me, and subscribe so that when these come out in the future, every Sunday, hopefully, you will get a notification and know, and you'll be like, oh, Ariah posted Vast Error. Awesome, I'm going to go check that out, because I've been enjoying watching her read that. Or if you are busy at the time, you might leave the notification around, and you might see it later. You might be like, oh, I'm sitting down to watch YouTube. Oh, I still have this notification. Let's go watch Ariah's Vast Error video. So that might be a useful tool for you if that seems like something interesting. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, regardless of if you're subscribed or if you're not subscribed, if you liked, if you didn't. Just being here, trying to, checking me out, enjoying the stuff that I do, that means the world to me, right? I love each and every one of you. You guys are amazing people, and I wish you the best. And you guys are just wonderful. So, Until next time, I love y'all, and goodbye, everyone.